Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
All right. Well, we've got a nice little group on. So the prize is the giveaway today are the button cards that you see here. And then I've also put together some buttons and a couple buckles. So these are the mother of pearl buckles that I think are really fun. We've made jewelry cuffs. Remember, just taking the sleeve off one of those shirts you recycle, maybe a man's dress shirt, and you can slide it through here and really make some neat fabric cuffs.
And the other thing is to make napkin rings.
Oh, yes. Great idea.
A friend of mine was making napkin rings.
Oh, that would
be
beautiful. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Let's see who else is on. We got Beth. Hi, Beth. Very nice. You would love to visit the Button Museum in Muscatine, Iowa. It is an amazing museum, and you know, I highly recommend it. I'd always check and make sure it's open with closings and things like that. And then if you go to the Button Museum, right across the street is a really great vintage venue that Meg owns. And if you get there, tell her Amy sent you. And it's called the Wild Thing Vintage, but I think she's changing the name of her store. So there's 2 spots I highly recommend in Muscatine.
And also the Art Center.
Oh, yes.
It's wonderful.
If you're interested in button history, go to both the Muscatine Art Museum, and it has a wonderful collection. Even like
lots of
Picasso's, a very, very nice collection. Okay, we don't want to get too far off track. I wanted to share with you some of these buttons are engraved. There's different sizes. So that's this little container full. You could make some jewelry. You could make even the necklace I'm wearing, which is in, oops, I just threw a button across the room. That is in the Buttonware book. And I wanted to show you one more idea that I thought was fun for Mother's Day in this book. You could make your mom this little bouquet of button flowers. Who likes that? Kate says, beautiful, mother of pearl. And there's Michelle saying hello. Oh, yeah, everybody. Michelle's here, too. Hi, Michelle.
And we've got some watchers on YouTube.
Oh, good. We have some watchers on YouTube. This morning, Michelle's idea was like, hey, why don't we try streaming over to YouTube, too? So we're live on YouTube. We thought, why not? You know, there's so many different ways that we can reach people. And I know we have a nice following on YouTube. So buttons are one topic today. And again, making cards, a quick note that, and then we're going to get to quilts. So a couple more things about buttons. This, if you guys visit my blog post, that is the most recent blog post, there's a free image that is ideal for making a Mother's Day card. And you could sew a couple mother of pearl buttons on it. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see the little children with their mom. And I think it's a boy and a girl. So whether you're a boy or a girl, you could give it to your mom.
And you could write Happy Mother's Day along the top.
Oh, yeah. Great idea. Yeah, or I was thinking you could even cut the angles and put a hole and make it like a tag. Maybe put it
lots of different things.
So that's kind of fun. And this is another image. The mermaid pearl is another one that's free on amybarrickman.com in the free printables. And maybe Michelle will put a link to that free printables page for us in the comments.
She said yes.
She said yes. And there's Emma Barrickman watching. Hi, Emma. Oh, best mom and Nana.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it is fun. We're going to be together.
That's our best Mother's Day present.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Well, Mom, I'm wearing a vest, and it is, I do know this. We were talking about log cabin. We love quilts. We love quilting, but we don't have a depth of knowledge with every single block and what it is. But what we do have knowledge of that we're sharing today is taking old quilts or cutter quilts, as you call them, and potentially making garments with them. And the reason I thought, well, this would be a fun little segue, because your original business that you launched.
I started a business years ago.
What was it called?
It was called Bertha's Bed.
Bertha's Bed.
And it was taking quilts, cutter quilts, and making them into garments for a store in Vail, Colorado. And And my friend Peggy and I did this, and we did it for a couple years and made lots of different garments. In fact, one of my favorite garments that I made that was not for the store in Vail, but for the governor's wife in Des Moines, when she was moving from one home to Terrace Hill, where the governor's mansion is now
in Iowa,
and she was packing. She was wearing a blazer that I had made from a quilt top.
Wow.
It had ultra suede collar, but it was in the newspaper.
Wow, I was
excited.
That is special. That's very special. And I think it was in a magazine. Well, I know there's a magazine article that we looked at that shared your doll collection too. Yeah. Well, and the reason we're talking about this now is because one reason is I was at the grocery store looking at checking out, and I saw this. This is Melissa McCarthy and she is actually wearing a coat made out of an old I don't know if these are new quilts they're making or if this is a vintage quilt, but it obviously is a trend.
It seems to have come back. For a while, you didn't see it, but nowadays it's a real new fashion statement.
In fact, you were at Anthropologie, Mom, remember? And you took some pictures. Right now at Anthropologie, there is that, it's like a wrap coat. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing it in fashion. So we thought, let's talk about it. And I love when we're able to preserve and share something that maybe is and ended up in a closet or a drawer, but definitely we want to just kind of talk about it.
It gives the quilt another life, because a lot of times you can't use them on the bed because they are frayed and don't look real nice on the bed.
Right.
So to reuse it, it's just this upcycle that's so popular now. And actually, I think it always is.
Right. Too. Oh, I think it is too. Well, let's look. In fact, so we have quilts that I'm going to share. And this first one, Mom, you brought to me just the other day. Let's see who else is watching. There's Helen. Hello. Thanks for I'm glad you like my quilt vest, Helen. And Lynn Hopper says, everything comes back in fashion and crafts.
You're right, Lynn.
That is the truth. And I love it. And there's Paige Martin. Very nice to see you, Paige.
And Paige, we got to go out to breakfast.
Paige is my niece, and she's here in town visiting. She's watching upstairs with Emma. Okay, Mom, look at this. Tell me about, we think this is a family quilt, correct?
I believe it was from my family, from my grandma Freitag. And we can date the fabric just almost by looking at it, that it seems to be the feed sack prints that were so popular. And that would take it to
30s, 40s, 50s.
Even maybe 20s.
Yep, you're right. There were the 20s. It was once that, what we talked about yesterday, the lock stitch, the machine to do the lock stitch allowed fabric bags to be made. And here you can see how worn this is. So the reason we think that we can,
and it's really too worn to repair.
Right.
Sometimes you can repair them, but this is really.
Yeah, it's been in rough shape. You can see here, look at this orange. You guys can really see this here, right?
I love it too when Amy, when they use it for picnics and they take a quilt and spread it out and have a picnic, and this weather is perfect for that.
You're right. And you might want to use your quilt with a little damage for that, but I think this is in the running for Donna to make me get back to her roots with Bertha's bed and make me. I'd like a jacket out of this.
Okay.
And I do want to
show it to you.
Right. I do want to give a shout out to a local company here in Kansas City, and it is Loon & Company. And Elizabeth founded this company, and she has been doing the same thing you did years ago, upcycling vintage quilts into fabulous garments, fabulous things, jackets. In fact, we were at the Strawberry Swing a couple weeks ago, and we ran into a woman wearing one of her full-length coats that I took a photo of. And I'm going to do a blog post next week about these quilts and what we've talked about today. And I'm going to post the picture of Elizabeth's creation that we saw at the Strawberry Swing. So just FYI, guys, don't miss reading the blog and checking that out. So there's one. Now, when we talk about, you mentioned quilt tops, Mom. So I brought an example of what a quilt top is probably most of you guys out there. And then there's Lorene. Hi, Lorene. Everybody say hello. Remember what you want to win? Want to win your pearl buttons. That's the prize today. So that reflection is really, there you go. There it is.
Yeah.
So this is
a quilt top.
And actually it's circular. I'm going to try to stand up behind you and show it a little bit more.
Well, and this pink seems to be the center of it. So if you show a section of it.
Well, here we go, Donna.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, everybody? Donna,
you know, and I love to stretch these and use them as wall hangings.
Oh, this one would be harder to stretch because it's actually circular.
Well, I wouldn't stretch the whole thing. I just
you're right.
part of it. You just whatever size you want.
Donna, you always think of the right solutions. Yeah. She really does, you guys.
Sometimes.
There's Deborah saying it's fabulous. Kate loves it.
It is. It has real interesting fabric in it. And actually, when you see the whole thing, it does have some kind of coordination.
Right, of the design.
Sometimes it's hard when you're just looking at pieces of
it. Well, and the blues,
and I love to just study all the fabrics. And some of these fabrics, I think, are quite old.
Look at this. I bet this is a feed sack. Look at this one, Mom. What is the little silhouette on there of that?
Oh, that's darling. Of little people. And I love when they even add a little patch. This one even has a little tiny patch in the corner, just so someone made it.
I want to show you something else. This has names on it. I've never noticed this. There's Ruth K, her name. And this is Jean. And who else do we have? It looks like Lila. Oh, Betsy. No, Betty. There's Betty. So you can imagine that this was maybe quilted or pieced at a quilting bee.
Yeah.
Maybe a church event.
Here's Bernice.
Oh, there's Bernice.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all right. So quilt top. Now, my vest is, I believe, made from this quilt. I actually bought this. Donna didn't make this. I'm not sure where I bought it. But it is made with a quilt top. So there's no batting in between.
A log cabin quilt is almost always they don't have a lot of batting usually in them. They're just put together so they appear much more like a quilt top.
Oh, interesting.
But
I wonder why. Yeah. Maybe because the thickness of the seams, because there's so many seams in a block. But I did want to show you guys what I love about this vest. See that armhole? It's kind of squared off. I just think that's a nice touch. And you know,
it gives your blouse a little bit more room to move too.
Yeah.
In you.
Okay, so let's show a couple more quilts that we could make into garments. Here, I have two of them that are just more one monochromatic or, you know, one color. And I think either of these would be fabulous garments. This one is pretty damaged.
Yeah.
So we'll have, and I love this for wearing with denim.
I do, and I like the red and white wearing with denim. Both of these are fabulous colors to wear into.
Yeah. So these could be. Everybody, if you want to vote, tell me which quilt you think Donna should make first, the red or the blue. Okay. Here we go. We'll have some fun.
How many am I making, Amy?
Well, Michelle might want one too, Mom.
Yeah. Oh.
Or Emma.
You want to choose maybe to go with the jeans?
Emma, are you out there? Do you want one?
And Paige.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now there's one I want to show you that I'm not sure I'm not sure about this one. So I wanted to get Donna's advice. Okay. So this one that I found, I love the color.
Well, you love brown. Brown is one of your favorite colors.
See how there I am wearing it. Wouldn't it be great?
It's a very thick one. I would not like to work with this.
You would not?
No, it's too thick. You would not.
Isn't it gorgeous, everybody?
It's very
it's very contemporary feeling too, I feel. Yeah. I just love this.
I do have a question.
Okay.
How do you work around the damage when you're making a garment?
A lot of times I'll repair the damage with the collection of fabrics that I have, or if the pattern pieces, you know, fit around it, I can do that. But I frequently, to make this quilt go farther, I will use some old fabric. If I have to use new, I'll use a new print a new fabric that
The
looks
coordinates,
old.
right? Well,
Yeah.
and when it comes to fabrics like feed sacks, you do see a lot of reproduction feed sacks. But I'll tell everybody there's a quilt show coming up in Kansas City. We are so excited.
I know we are.
Donna will not be there for it. I hate to tell everybody you'll be out of town, but we do have the Kansas City Regional Quilt Festival happening in Kansas City, and that is June 17th or 18th. Maybe Michelle will help.
Post the link.
Michelle will post a link in the chat, you guys. So if any of you are interested, it's going to be a great spot to, if you needed some fabric, maybe I do know that Tenny Roche, my really good friend who sells vintage textiles and notions, she's going to have a booth right next to our booth. So I am so excited, just if nothing else, to
and
see everybody again and see her collection. She's fabulous. So
you'll come with a list of maybe
right.
things you
Yeah,
need to-
that's a great idea, Mom. If you are looking for some vintage fabrics. But you know what else I wanted to show in this? I
Okay.
love the gingham.
It
Look
is.
at the gingham
The
in
brown and white.
it. I'm really into
And
gingham.
is this considered gingham too?
Yes.
Anything that with a sort of a plaid.
Right. That
And
was
there
yarn
There seems to
woven,
be a lot of it.
yarn dyed and woven.
Yeah.
And you know what? Look at that color. This is like my favorite color, this chartreuse. It's the color you're wearing today, Mom.
Uh-huh.
So so too bad I'm not going to get a garment out of this. I'm going to have to use this as a picnic blanket. And somebody did repair this, Mom. Look, this is new fabric on the back.
And they did. I like what they chose too. It's a different color, but it blends nicely with the fabrics.
I'm going to sneeze, I think. And you know what I'm noticing? They actually pre-quilted this and laid the old quilt on top of a new. So maybe we could separate the old quilt from it, and you could make me a jacket.
Possibly.
I think she needs, that's my new project, is to figure out if we can make this into a garment for me. Okay.
I'll put this over here.
Yep. Sounds great, Mom. This is a big one. Whoa.
We almost had an accident here.
But no, we don't want you to get hurt, Mom.
No, not especially for Mother's Day.
No, not for Mother's Day. Okay. Gingham is my favorite, says Lynn. Are we getting lots of good comments? Okay, remember everybody? So we'll circle back just quickly. Mother of pearl buttons that you can win. Everybody comment and tell me, do you want Donna to make the red quilt into a jacket first or the blue quilt? And then remember, you can make some cards from the free images at amyberkman.com. All right. Well, I thought it'd be fun to share, just because of Mother's Day. I found a book. I was going through my vintage collection looking for some feed sack fabric the other day, and I happened to come upon my one of my books that you saved for me.
I love this book.
This little book called Little Mommy, and I just thought since it's Mother's Day, it'd be fun to share a vintage storybook. And as I looked at the cute little girl, and I do vividly remember this book as a child. I'm sure all of you, the little golden books, are definitely super special, all of this series. But then I looked at the little girl and I thought to myself, well, that kind of reminded me of the way you would do my hair when I was little. So I thought we'd share a picture of my mom and I, and particularly you can see my cute little hair. And Donna's hair. What do we have there, Donna?
I used to have a little, top knot, a little wiglet, I guess, that I'd put on top.
Okay.
So and Amy asked me if I still had it.
No. Okay. But anyway, I thought, and we're getting people voting, red quilt, blue quilt. Okay, good. Thank you, everybody. But this outfit, Mom, obviously my mom, and speaking of the blog post that I just mentioned, so after you're off the live, run on over to amyberkman.com to my blog. And there is a photo of my mom when I was a baby. She and I were in matching gingham outfits. And my grandmother, Mildred, is holding me in this picture. So it's a really special picture. And then I actually posted, you made me a an Indigo Junction slight sleeve top. And so I also posted kind of the idea of then and now, which is something that I like seeing when people share pictures. But this is getting back to the fact, I'm sure you made this matching velvet outfit for us. And
for the holidays at Christmas time.
Yeah, this was one of our Christmas cards. So thanks to my dad for taking the picture. And I just thought it was fun to share. I don't know if anybody else remembers this little mommy book, but I thought it was awful cute to share for Mother's Day. And
I love the dollies in it.
Oh, right.
That's the reason, because I've always loved dolls and have a nice doll collection. Here's the the front, or the just her feeding her dolly.
And yes, we'll have to do a doll episode. Oh, Colleen said, I saw the gingham pic. So cute then and now. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Well, I'm lucky enough that you're going to make me quilted clothes. I've got velvet. I've got gingham.
Whatever she wants.
I
love to do it.
You do a beautiful job making garments and making projects. So you have made some wonderful projects that are part of our membership program. And Mary Meyer has as well. Want to reach out and give her a shout out. So, and I'm hopeful that, we also share modern makers. So remember I mentioned Elizabeth at Loon & Company. So she was somebody that I thought, wow, maybe we could interview her sometime.
That would be fun.
About what she does with her business and making garments and projects. And let's see. Well, another quick highlight is will show my Vintage Notions book, because it's a great Mother's Day gift.
It certainly is.
And whether you buy it for yourself or you buy it for somebody in your family, over on homesew.com, they are doing a sale and there's a good discounted price for Vintage Notions. And then also my Hanky Style book we featured in a video recently, and maybe we can share that here too. But you can, if you buy 2 Amy Bergman books over on their website, you get an additional 10% off. So I wanted to give a shout out to that. And thank you. Audrey says it is a beautiful book. And these are feed sack fabrics, but there is in the April chapter is the Quilt in Patchwork page that I think that we shared last week. We didn't get a lot of time to share it. But I also wanted to share the this month has, well, there's the if any of you are into quilting and patchwork, there you can see a little bit of history and applique. Michelle, are we doing well?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Good. Getting lots of comments. Michelle's watching to see who we're going to pick for our winner. Oh, and remember, we were looking at feed sacks, or talking about feed sacks. See this birthday hat? Fabric, that's an old feed sack. So this is the type, this is the type. But I wanted to show you in the May chapter, since we're already to May, there are some really wonderful essays. There's some about like sewing. There's my mom sewing garments for me when I was little, right? There you are. And just some really interesting essays. And the one that I want to particularly recognize is the Mother's Day. This one, Queen of the World, and it really says is a beautiful little essay. And there again, you can see the graphics at the top, and the hats. Last week, I'm looking over here, Mom, at the hats. So if you guys didn't see our live last week, we shared some hats, and the week before we shared hats too. Ribbon. You'd made ribbon flowers. So if any of you are interested in ribbon flowers, keep that in mind. And if you're on Facebook, we do have in our guides, you can see all the previous Facebook Lives. And you joined me a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, and we did a crazy quilt episode. So if you liked this quilt episode and you liked having Donna on, you might want to go look.
I love being on.
You do?
I do. Can't wait.
Yes. Well, and we're going to have to get you on again because you're going to be doing some traveling. And Dawn says she loves the book. Thank you. And Sharon too. I appreciate you guys. Mary Brooks Picken, she's the heart of the essays, who wrote the Singer Sewing book. She's our inspiration many times.
And my favorite quote from the book is
what?
Faith in your own two hands. And that really, whether you're cooking or sewing or whatever it is, really that is the theme.
And it's right here. If you wonder where that essay is, it's right here opposite the page with the pocket. So these clever little pockets you have to like store your.
And that's an embroidery design you have, isn't
right. Yeah. Next week, I'll share with you more of the textiles that are on the pages in the book from the Made chapter. Nice. And I'll see if I can't find this basket embroidery. But the quote that you just mentioned is on page 104. So if you have the book, get it out and read on page 104, and you can see Donna's favorite quote. And that is one that I feel strongly too is a really wonderful, wonderful quote. So let's see, we've got about a minute left, and Michelle's posted some links, which is great. And Beth said she had a purple gingham apron when she was little, and that brings back memories. Thanks, Beth. I definitely want to say a few things just to reminders. If you're new to watching us, Donna and I, on our live events, Fridays at 1 Central, most Fridays, we do the live event, and you can find it on, we really suggest you join the Vintage Made Modern Facebook group, because in that group, we not only stream the lives, but we also have, it's a place where people can share from your own collection, and I share more treasures from my collection. So it's much more interactive and enjoyable. And many of you I know who are on this live have posted in the group, and I want to just say thank you. I really appreciate the people who are contributing and sharing of their own collections. Another opportunity you have to connect is, of course, at amyberkman.com. You can sign up for my newsletter, and that will tell you when we do live events and what's coming next week. Now, Donna didn't know this morning what we were doing. She had not read her newsletter, so I had to bring her up to speed that we were going to be talking about quilts today, and she came through for me, didn't you?
You did mention it earlier in the week.
You just, well, we've had a busy week. Yes. We're going to go tomorrow. We're going to go to the Royals baseball game for Mother's Day. Won't that be fun? Very exciting. I hope they win. They've been having a little trouble in the last few weeks. So on the website also, I wanted to just mention next week, these are the May issues of the Vintage Notions Monthly, and these are available on the website as downloads or on Amazon. Next week, I'm going to go through some of the content in both these magazines, one of which has some things about graduation and making garments and fashion for graduation. But I just wanted to share, I think particularly this issue gets us all in the spirit of spring. And we've had a beautiful spring here in Kansas City, that's for sure. So what else? Instagram, Amy Berkman Studio. Sometimes I go live on Instagram too. So if you love Instagram, make sure you find me over there and follow me. Michelle, can you think of anything else other than we just need to pick that winner?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You have the winner if you're ready.
You have the winner.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're going to win. One more time. Okay. Buttons.
Who has the button?
Right.
Who have the button?
And the beautiful mother of pearl. There we go. Okay. Who's our winner?
Lindsay Joy.
Lindsay Joy.
What a pretty name.
Yes. That is a beautiful name.
Joy.
Joy. That's what we love. And
there she is.
Oh, there she is. All right. My friends have a book club, and on the first of each month, we read them a monthly chapter from Vintage Notions. I love that. Well, nice. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for sharing that idea with people. In fact, we do have on the website a guide for book clubs. I don't know if you use that, Lindsay, but I need to post that. I'll post that next week when I post about the quilted garments. I'll post that in the blog. So if anybody else thinks that's a fun idea for your friends, that's wonderful. I really appreciate it. And you won, Lindsay. So if you message me through Facebook with your address, and if you would also email it to info@amybarrickman.com, just as a backup, I'll make sure we get your buttons mailed to you. And we'll be anxious if you can. Again, I mentioned the Facebook group. If you can share what you make, that is always fun to see. In fact, somebody just posted the yo-yo flowers. I don't know if it was Beth. I forgot who posted this. Maybe it was Beth. Somebody just did a really nice job making blooms with yo-yos and then a button center.
Oh,
and
perfect.
In a really beautiful, nice photo they took. So I appreciate if you guys make something that maybe you found in one of my books. We love to see what you've made. And vintage, again, this is one of the projects that could be made with these pearl buttons, and it was in that was in the Buttonware book. There you go. Yeah, this book too. And this one is available on Amazon or as a PDF on my website too at amybarrickman.com. So that's always something fun to do for Mother's Day, is just to get together and make something with your family. So I think you and Paige and Emma and I should make some button projects this Mother's Day. What do you think?
And I love it when someone makes something, because you're giving a little bit of yourself. Well, you're just not going to the store and buying it, but you're actually giving of yourself when you do it. And you have so many nice projects in your group too.
Yeah,
you've done.
Right. So maybe you can make something fun with buttons this Mother's Day, or maybe bake something for somebody. I think anytime you're handmade,
exactly,
has a lot of meaning, and especially this Mother's Day is going to be, we're all going to be extra appreciative.
I think so, because last Mother's Day, I don't know that many of us were together.
Right.
Or this year, I think we all feel a lot more comfortable having had the vaccine. And
right. So I hope you all out there get a chance to be with your family and enjoy some creative time together. And we get a lot of creative time together, and I am so thankful.
Well, you're nice. Thank you. I am thankful too, because it certainly, as a retired person, it gives me a purpose, and I think we all need a purpose in life.
Oh yes.
And helping you with the various things really gives me a lot of purpose.
Well, we love it, and you do a great job. No, you do a great job, Mom. And obviously, I'm tearing up a little. Never done this before, but I guess I will say thanks to everybody, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And thanks to my mom for all she does for me all year long.
Well,
and thanks to Michelle for helping us out too.
Yeah. No.
And thanks to everybody for watching. Love you too. Thanks, Kate. We love you too. You're so sweet. And there's Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. And Diane, thanks. Happy Mother's Day. These are all fun friends of mine that are in our membership. We so appreciate you being a part of it. And we'll be telling more about the membership in the coming months. So everybody else, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and everybody just have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there.